Well, guys, before we get in the video, I just want to let you know use my code in my bio for 30% off Trident DFS's premium sports betting picks. Uh, got big wins coming up NFL, NBA. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and the bell. Drop a like and a comment. Let's get into the video. NFL Week 8 predictions. CFB Deep Dives and I are going to go into our picks for this week's games, starting off immediately with Minnesota traveling to LA to take on the Rams at 8:15 on Thursday. Minnesota is favored by 3 points. I have on ESPN. Um, who you got in this one? I think I'm leaning towards the Ram and not the Rams, the Vikings to cover this 3 point spread. Um,
You're gonna take the Vikings.
yeah, I think I have to go with the Vikings. Just because in terms of injuries, I don't know where the Rams are going to be at. I think they're going to have Cooper Cup. Obviously, Cooper Cup's in some trade rumors, but yeah, I think I just got to go with Vikings here. I think their defense is definitely much better than the Rams is. So yeah, going with the Vikings here.
I'm gonna say the Rams cover the three, just because it seems like it's too you know it seems like it's too obvious to pick the Vikings -3 because it's like, well, the Rams kind of suck this year. The Vikings are good. Um, so Minnesota -3 should be the easy pick, right? Well, I'm gonna just take the Rams -3 or +3, or I'm just gonna take them with the points. Um, because Matthew Stafford is auditioning to be traded to the Vikings, at least according to Mike Florio.
That's true, and
So
so is Cooper Cup.
they're gonna want they're gonna want Stafford. Yeah, it's gonna be a package deal. Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup and Matthew Stafford to the Vikings, pretty much confirmed. Um, no, I'm kidding. Um,
Confirmed.
but yeah, I'm gonna just say I don't know, that line seems a little suspicious to me
Dude,
because
I
like
might change
it
my
just seems
pick.
so obvious.
Might change it. I gotta think though. I mean, honestly, I kind of have bad vibes from the Vikings now that I'm thinking about this game a little bit more. Um,
Sam Darnold's like, oh wait, we're not gonna go undefeated. Yeah,
yeah.
that might have I don't know. It's like, you have a short week, right? I mean, well, obviously the Rams have a short week too,
Although
but
I will say, I don't know. I feel like Justin Jefferson against Tre'Davious White. I like Tre'Davious White, but he's kind of washed and old. I think Justin Jefferson's gonna eat. I don't see any cornerback locking him up. Where the Lions have pretty good cornerbacks. Um,
you don't need a quarterback. You don't need a cornerback when Jared Verse is just stacking
Wreaking
Sam
havoc.
Darnold every
Very
other
true.
play.
But
He's gonna
yeah,
have 8 sacks.
I'll just go with the Vikings here, just to have some parity in the picks. Um, let's move on to Philadelphia taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. I got the Bengals favored by 2.5 points here. Um, I'm gonna be honest. These games are both of these teams kind of like their wins are a little like they're playing like fraud teams. Um, Bengals obviously have a win over the Giants, have a win over the Browns. Uh,
Hmm.
Coincidentally, the Eagles have a win over the Giants and a win over the Browns as well. So this is kind of like a battle of like, are these teams on a win streak just because they beat two shitty teams, or are they on a win streak because they're good teams? Um, I am going to go with the Bengals here, um, just based off the fact that I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts is, and I think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are better than AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. I know my Eagles fans are gonna hate me for that. I do think AJ Brown's good, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals here.
You're gonna go with the Bengals here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well.
Okay.
And I may be picking more with my heart than my head here because we're both team anti Nick Sirianni, and we want to see them lose. So
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni gets fired. but I don't know. I just like both. Yeah, like we were talking about, both teams are on like a fake bounce back, like fake win streak against some
Yeah,
like pretty horrible
their
teams.
wins aren't like, oh yeah, they beat a great team. It's a little
Yeah,
fraud.
like you said, they both beat the Giants and the Browns over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
Um,
eesh.
but I don't know. I just feel like Cincy is like more real because I mean, if you look at like what Cincy's done this year, they they could easily be. I'm not going to say 7-0, but like they lost that Patriots game, whatever. They should have beat the Chiefs. They could have beat Washington. They should have beat the Ravens. I mean, like the Bengals should have beaten the two best teams in the league.
Their
The
record, yeah,
Chiefs and the
the
Ravens.
record does not reflect where they're at as a team, really. So
They could very easily be 5-2. And Philly is like a low key dumpster fire, even though they're been winning. They just feel like a dumpster fire. So I don't know. I'm going to take the home team to cover the 2.5. There's something very Philly is a sick team. They haven't like when the Ottoman Empire was a sick man of Europe
yeah,
for decades before World War One. The Eagles are the sick man of the NFL, and I just they're sick and something they're just waiting. They're just waiting for
for somebody to put them out of their
somebody
misery.
who's actually somebody who's like actually good, not like two generationally awful teams and the
Agreed.
and the Browns and the Giants. So
Moving on to a
I'm
generationally
taking
awful team, the Baltimore Ravens are going to take on the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. The line
oh
is
gosh,
8.5 points. Jameis Winston will be starting, um, and Ken Dorsey will be calling plays. Um,
really
yes, that is
interesting.
insider news. Not really. I got it from Twitter. 8.5 point spread. My heart is telling me to pick Jameis Winston to cover this spread. My brain is telling me, what are you doing, idiot? The Ravens are going to destroy him 90-0. Um, so this is a very hard pick for me because the Browns are my team. But I don't know. 8.5 points it's a lot of points. I mean, that's basically 3 field goals, almost 3 field goals, or a touchdown, a 2 point conversion. But I think I just have to go with the Ravens to cover the spread here because I don't know. You know what? No, actually, you know what? Nick Chubb's back. Jameis is in. Fuck it. We're gonna go with the Browns here. We're getting the Browns. Obviously, I had a really bad pick percentage, so I'm redeeming myself. We're picking the Browns to cover here.
Okay, and I'm just going to continue going with Baltimore. I picked Baltimore to cover last week. Um, did I pick them to cover the week before? I did pick them to cover the week before they won. So we've been doing this. This is our fourth week doing this. All three of the previous weeks, I've picked Baltimore to cover, and they have. And you did 6. I'm just going to go with Baltimore. It feels like this line should be a lot higher, so it almost feels like free money, which then like concerns me because it's like, well, why is the line only 8.5? It should be like 28.5. Like this should be like a Georgia versus like Charleston Southern game spread.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, well, I should probably pick Cleveland because you know this line seems like free money, but I'm just gonna not overthink it, and I'm gonna take Baltimore -8.5. I know it's in Cleveland. I know they're gonna have a bounce from putting Jameis in the game and Ding Dong the Witch is dead with uh, what do you call him, Groper
Grover
Cleveland?
Cleveland, Deshaun Diddy Combs. There's a couple. There's a couple ones.
Yeah, it just seems like there are some reasons to pick the Browns. Defense is pretty good, but I'm just gonna take Baltimore. I'm just gonna keep riding Baltimore and pick them to cover every week. Because again, like we talked about, I just think that they're a hard team to beat in the regular season because they're so different.
All right.
And so I'm going to take Baltimore. Baltimore
Okay.
-8.5.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose this pick, but we're riding and dying with Jameis. Let's move on to an even bigger spread. Tennessee traveling to Detroit to take on The Lions, 11-point spread for Detroit here. Detroit minus 11.
There's some crazy spreads this week,
Um, I'm gonna keep it short and
and this
sweet.
is the biggest.
Detroit. I'm just picking Detroit. I picked the Dolphins. I picked some like smart teams to cover the spread. I picked the stupid Panthers. I'm not doing that shit this week. Although I did just pick the Browns, but I have a reason. The Ravens are one of the worst passing defenses, and Jameis is the greatest quarterback of all time. But this one, short and sweet. Lions, come on. Will Levis is back. He's ass. Mason Rudolph is ass. Whoever starts for Tennessee is ass. So, yeah, Lions.
Will Levi's?
Will Levi's jeans, 501 jeans.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions too, just because it seems like this minus 11 spread is like, whoa, that's a ton of points. That's my initial gut read. I always just go against my initial gut read. My initial gut read tells me that I should take Tennessee because that's a lot of points, but that's also probably everybody else's initial gut read, and that's why everybody else loses because they go with their initial gut read and they don't think about it any deeper. They don't overthink the games like me. I devil's advocate myself to death here on everything, but I'm just going to take Detroit minus 11. I don't think the Titans have any semblance of an offense at all. And, Detroit's defense, obviously, huge blow at losing Aiden Hutchinson. He was on track basically to win Defensive Player of the Year before he got hurt. And
Yeah.
it's gonna bite them in the long run, but they were still able to beat Minnesota. And it probably should have been by a lot more than 2 points if they didn't just Dan Campbell their way into, you know, turning it over on downs in their own territory and fumble. Well, the fumble probably wasn't Dan Campbell's fault, but
Yeah.
um,
Well, that Monty was
the
hurt.
Lions are really good. The Lions are a really,
They're very
really good team,
legit.
and the Titans are
Not
they're
legit.
a horrible offense. So
They're
yeah,
de-
I'm going with Detroit minus 11.
All right.
What?
Um, let's move on to.
Even though Jeffrey Simmons is my guy, free Jeffrey Simmons,
What about
best
Lil?
defensive tackle in the league.
What about Lil Jarius Sneed, dude? What about their cornerback,
Lil Jarius,
little Jarius Sneed? Um,
Lil Jordan Humphrey.
let's move on to Arizona taking on Miami. In Miami,
Ooh,
the spread is actually minus 3.5 points. Um, I think that
Miami
Tua,
minus 3.5. You mean?
yeah, Miami, yeah, Miami minus 3.5. Um, I think Tua is playing. Is that correct?
Let me check here.
If Tua is playing, this game becomes way harder to pick. If Tua is not playing,
hmm
then it's very easy.
So it says he practiced, or yeah, it says he's going to practice today. Dolphins hopeful QB plays versus Cardinals. Our plan is to start practicing on Wednesday. Clearing of the concussion protocol has been coming until after some of the activity, but we're doing so in the hope of everything going well so he can play Sunday. That's TBD. Medical experts have deemed it safe for him to return. It sounds like he said he's very excited to return to action. Sounds like he's going to play, and I think this line is indicating that he's going to play because I don't think they would be 3.5 point favorites if
With Tim
he
Boyle.
wasn't playing. I think they
Yeah.
would. I think they would probably be an underdog at home.
Um, Here's what I'm going to say. I don't think what I've seen out of the Dolphins that they would beat the Chargers, and Arizona just beat the Chargers. 3.5 points. Give me the Cardinals on the road here. Um,
Okay,
they're
I like
traveling pretty
that.
far, but I mean, I haven't been impressed with Miami even when they had Tua. They barely beat the Jags. The Jags are two
hmm
and five, so good on you. You freaking had a stage a you went life and death with the Jaguars. Um, so
You went
yeah,
right up to the edge and
you won on
looked
the
over the
last
edge of
second
the
field
cliff.
goal. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
give me Arizona. My a plus 3.5 points here.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna just say that Tua plays. and the time change and the cross country is, you know, a little much for Arizona to handle. Um, Short week for them because they played on Monday and they're going cross country, and I think Tua is going to come back. So I'm going to take Miami to, oh gosh, to cover the 3.5. Yeah, whatever. I'll just take them to cover the 3.5 there.
Okay. Uh,
Whatever. They're
let's
covering it.
let's move on to a divisional game, AFC East matchup. New York Jets traveling to New England to take on
Yep.
the Pats. The New York Jets are 7-point favorites here. Um,
hmm On the
that's
road
that's really hard to. I mean,
over the soft boys.
the although I don't know, man. I feel like I picked the Patriots just based off their aura, like oh that they had Belichick. Like I'm picking them as if they have Belichick coaching the team. I don't think Jared Mayo is that good of a coach, so
Probably not.
I'm kind of inclined to pick the Jets here because I mean, dude, Devontae's gonna get on the same page as Rodgers eventually. So, and honestly, Christian Gonzalez, he's a great cornerback. He ain't gonna cover Garrett Wilson and fucking Devontae the whole game. One of them's gonna get open, and one of them's gonna burn them. I'm gonna just pick the Jets to cover the 7-point spread. Um, who knows? Maybe Sauce Gardner's gonna hold on to whoever their number 2 wide receiver is. I don't even know, Pep Douglas, and get some
Bob
picks.
Douglas, Jalen Polk.
Yeah, Jalen Polk I think is hurt or something like that, or like a concussion or
Did he
something.
have
So
a concussion?
yeah, so I don't think he's even gonna play. So yeah, give me the Jets here, -7.
Okay. Well, I'm taking the Patriots +7. Um, the only reason I'm doing it is because A, I'm getting 7 points in a division game, and B, they were called soft by their coach, dude.
Yeah,
You
because they
have to
couldn't defend the run. Does that mean
you
Brees
have
Hall's going for 2,000 yards?
I don't know. I think they're gonna I don't know. I just feel like they're just gonna come out and be a different team. They got challenged. Your manhood was challenged, right? Like I don't know. I'm not gonna take the Patriots to win, but I'm gonna take them to cover this, at least cover the 7, to make it competitive. And I also don't really trust the Jets. I just don't think the Jets deserve to be 7-point favorites over anybody. They're not that great of a team. Um, so give me the Patriots +7.
All right. Let's move on to the next game. This is an NFC South matchup. Another home game for the Bucks. Atlanta traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Atlanta's -2.5-point favorites. This is a hard game for me to pick because I like the Bucks. I like Baker. I also like Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. So 2.5 points for the Falcons. I mean, the last matchup was a very close game, went to overtime, and I mean, we saw Kirk get that crazy game winner in overtime, but it's very hard for me because I feel like the Bucks were very close to winning that game. Um, and my big issue is Mike Evans probably not going to play. I think they said he's going to come back week 11. Obviously, no Godwin. So we're looking at Sterling Shepard, Jalen McMillan, and frick, I forgot the last guy's name. But I mean, the wide receiver core has been damaged beyond belief. Sucks because that's like one of their biggest
Yeah,
strengths. So, as much as it pains me to say it, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Falcons here to cover this 2.5-point spread, just based off of their last
yeah.
matchup and the fact that now we're missing even more pieces on offense. So yeah, going
Trey
Falcons.
Palmer, Sterling Shepard, Trey Palmer, McMillan. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's who they're going to be leaning on in this game.
yeah.
Um, Probably a lot of checkdowns for Rashad White, though.
I
Fantasy
I do
implications there, but
I do think that the run game with Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker is gonna be leaned on maybe a little bit more heavily. But yeah, I don't know, man.
mhm.
I feel like this is just like a bad momentum
Bucky
thing.
Irving's questionable to play.
Oh shit. Uh oh. Yeah, I just think Atlanta's gonna win this. As much as it pains me to say it, but yeah, go with Falcons.
Okay, so I'm gonna lock you in for Atlanta minus 2.5 on the road. Um, I'm going with that. I just, yeah, all the injuries for the Bucks, man. It's just too much.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
sucks.
I just, yeah, I don't know, man. Just, I can't pick the Bucks right now. I just really can't. And the Ravens ran all over them. The Falcons have Bijan. It ain't getting any easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Atlanta minus 2.5.
All right. Um, let's move on to Green Bay traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Green Bay's favored by 4 points on the road here. Um, my heart is telling me to pick
Mm.
the Jags here. My brain is telling me to pick the Packers here. Um, the only thing I'm looking at is Joe Mixon ran a ton on the Packers, and I really think Tank Bigsby's a great running back. So I'm I'm kind of leaning towards the momentum carrying over, although I did that a couple weeks ago and it failed for the Jags after they beat the Colts. I thought they carried that momentum. They didn't against the Bears. Um, so saying that, actually, no. Now I'm going to go with the Packers to win this game. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Packers minus 4. Uh, unfortunately,
Okay. Yeah, no. It always kills me to pick the Packers. But this is another one of those games where it's like the Jaguars are terrible. The Packers are only have to cover 4. Yeah, they're on the road, but whatever.
yeah,
So it seems like Green Bay minus 4 is a very obvious pick. And I'm gonna take the Jaguars here. I think they beat, I mean, obviously they beat the Patriots, and the Patriots are soft and horrible, but and they were in London, and they're used to London, the Jaguars at least. So it's not like that's like some big momentum shifting win that's gonna like, oh my gosh, maybe they're actually good.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm picking this purely based on the line, which is it just the Packers minus 4 is like, seems like it's an easy pick. So it's never that easy. So I'm gonna just take the Jaguars plus the 4 points.
okay. Um, let's go on to the Colts traveling to Houston in an AFC South matchup. Houston is favored by 5 points here. Um, like I said, I'm not having a repeat of last week. I'm just gonna go with the obvious pick here. I tried to get kind of fancy with it last week, and it fucking backfired totally. Houston minus 5, slamming Houston minus 5. Um, why would I pick Anthony Schitterson when we have overrated C.J. Stroud in his run game? In all seriousness, though, yeah, I think Houston's defense is going to have make Richardson have a lot of problems. Danielle Hunter's probably going to get some sacks on Richardson, and hopefully Josh Jacobs doesn't play because I think they're going to just sprain his ankle again. Just hold him out another week, Indy. Let him heal up.
Um, you're talking about you're kind of switching games here. Josh Jacobs, you said
Wait, what?
you were talking about Josh
Oh, did I
Jacobs.
say John? I meant John Taylor. I was talking about.
Okay,
Yeah, I
all right.
don't know. I think I
I was
just
like, did you
glanced
go
at
back
Green
to the
Bay.
Green Bay game?
No, yeah, John
Yeah.
John Taylor. Please keep Jonathan Taylor out of the game. Don't start him. Yeah, that's all I got to say. My bad on the slip up.
No, it's all good. Okay, I'm gonna take Houston minus 5 as well. Um, I just, yeah, Richardson, he looked worse every week. And we talked about in our other video how like the surprise stat of the week is the Colts record being 4-3. Shockingly, the Colts are a 4-3 over 500 ball
Above
club.
500, yeah.
And look,
Miraculously.
five points is a lot in a division game. I get it, but I don't know, man. Richardson's been so bad, and no Jonathan Taylor, probably right.
I think he practiced this week, so I think they're looking at him maybe playing. But hey, if I'm Steichen, hold him out, dude. Don't even start him this week. He's just gonna get eaten up at the
Yeah,
line of scrimmage. I know matchups for
yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, and this
Houston's
is a just getting eaten up at the line of
Houston's
scrimmage.
they've got a real defense, man. I mean, their offensive line is pretty bad, but they're not going to need to score a ton of points in this one. 'Cause, I mean, Indianapolis probably not scoring more than 20 points on you. Um, yeah, give me Houston -5.
Okay, we're both going Houston here. Let's move on
Yep.
to New Orleans Saints traveling to LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers are 7 point favorites here. Um, I need to look up
Wait,
if.
can we go back? Let's do all the noon games before.
Okay, what noon game did we
Oh
miss?
wait, never mind. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought the Bears game was a noon game. I'm wrong.
Okay, so yeah, we're doing
Prime time game.
Chargers, Chargers and the
Okay,
Saints.
yeah, that's my bad.
7 point spread. Um, I need to double check if Derek Carr's playing. Um, if he's playing, then maybe the Saints can cover the spread. Um, nope. Okay, I just looked. Oblique not expected to play. No, I'm picking the Chargers here -7. Um, yeah,
A big spread now.
it's a big spread, but I don't know. I just think what have we seen the Saints do? They basically got points generated off turnovers, and I don't think Herbert's the guy to turn over the ball to the Saints defense. Um, I mean, I know a lot of Baker Mayfield detractors say sometimes he can't see over the line, and both of those picks that he had against the Saints were batted passes. Herbert's a big guy. He's got no problem seeing over the line. I don't see any batted passes from Justin Herbert, so give me the Chargers by 7 here.
I'm gonna go with that one as well. I'm gonna ride with you on that one. The Saints are so bad. They're terrible.
Yeah, and they look semi
Uh,
good with Carr, and that's the only reason why I think about picking them, especially get that 7 point spread. But he's not playing.
they came really close to beating Philly in week 3. They came really close to beating Atlanta the following week. They played the Chiefs really tough. It was 26-13, but that game was a lot closer than that.
Yeah,
And
with
or
Carr in.
then they just get blown out 50 bomb hell by the Bucks, and
Then 33 to
um
10 the next week.
they really suck. They really suck.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is a get right game for the Chargers. So I will, but it's hard for me to pick the Chargers to cover 7 points.
This is the
Because
J.K. Dobbins
you know
200 yards, 3 touchdown game, dude. Just just manifest
is
it.
this the get right?
This is the J.K. Dobbins #1 rusher in the NFL. He's going to take the reins back from Derrick Henry. He's just going to have himself a game.
So the nobody has scored more than 20 points. The Steelers scored 20 on the Chargers in week 3. Otherwise, they've given up 10, 3, 17 to the Chiefs, 16, 17 points. Like nobody really scores on the Chargers, but then again, they don't really score a whole lot of points. I don't know. I still like him to cover, I think. I just think New Orleans is in a tailspin, and FBI's most wanted list, Dennis Allen is not. He doesn't have any answers.
He will be in custody very soon. Let's
Yes,
move on to
authorities are closing in.
Manhunt. We're putting out an all points bulletin on Dennis Allen. Uh, if you've seen him,
Hmm.
let us know in the comment section below.
Right, right.
Uh,
See something, say something.
let's move on to Buffalo traveling across the country to take on Seattle. Um,
Mm.
Buffalo is -3 point favorites on the road traveling across the country. Um, and Buffalo coming off a big win. So are the Seahawks. Honestly, the Seahawks are coming off a bigger win because they beat the Falcons, who are a team
Mhm.
first place in their division right now. Um, this is hard for me to pick because I think Josh Allen's the best QB in the NFL right now, MVP front runner, um, and I don't think that he's going to have a stinker performance against the Seahawks. I don't know though. I don't want to say that, and then he's just going to finally start throwing picks. So um, this is a hard pick for me. On one hand, I want to take the team with the better quarterback. On the other hand, I want to take the team that's playing at home and they're not traveling across the country. So
Mhm.
I think I have to go with the Seahawks here, and I might change it. But yeah, let me go with the Seahawks right now, and I'll come back to you after you have your pick. Maybe I'll change it.
I I wanted to go with the Seahawks as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, look, the Seahawks feels like they've kind of gotten back on track a little bit here. Um, they lost those three straight games. They went on the road, got right against Atlanta. Buffalo, though, tough. I mean, DK Metcalf has a MCL sprain, did not practice today.
True, very
He's
true.
not been ruled out, but Kenneth Walker didn't practice, although I think he only had an illness that he played through
Yeah,
against
some sort
Atlanta.
of sickness. I think food poisoning, maybe.
Yeah, so most likely he'll end up being back, but if he still didn't practice on Wednesday, wait, today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I just got confused there. Yeah, I'm gonna just, you know what? I'm gonna go against my better judgment here and take Buffalo -3. I know it's tough to pick a road favorite going clean across the country there, but I don't know. I think they're giving Buffalo a lot of respect with that line, and I'm gonna take.
Ah, dude, I might change my pick. Not, I don't know. On one hand, Kenneth Walker against the weak Rundy is a very good matchup to
If
me.
you if you change your pick, then I'm changing my pick then,
So
because
we're gonna swap.
yeah,
um,
if you want, I just don't want. I don't know. I don't like having the same pick as you for
dude, I don't know.
three
I
games in
just
a
don't
row.
like picking against Josh Allen, but like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of hard because I feel like they've lost to teams with great rushing attacks, and like, I mean, the Seahawks were able to
Okay,
score 3 rushing touchdowns on the Lions, and the Lions had one of the best run defenses at that point. So yeah, I think
if,
I'm gonna
if somebody put a gun to your head, what would you pick?
Bills actually. I just I think I gotta go with Bills. I feel like yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go
Okay,
Bills. We'll swap our picks. We'll have the ultra rare double pick swap. Um, so you're gonna go Seattle. I'm gonna go Buffalo.
I think I'm gonna go Buffalo. Actually,
Oh
yeah, I'm going
shit. All
Buffalo.
right, so
I'm
we're
going
double
Buffalo.
double
Sorry,
Buffalo. Okay, double
yeah,
Buffalo.
we can't. Yeah, yeah. So three straight games, y'all pick the same team. That's
Shit. All right, and I think
pathetic.
we're gonna pick the same team on this next one. Carolina traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Holy shit! 10-point spread for the Broncos. Um, well deserved, honestly, because like I said earlier in the last video, if you're making the if you're looking making the Washington defense look good, your offense sucks. So give me the Broncos going against Bryce Young possibly. Broncos 10.5 point spread. I'm not even batting my eyes at that. Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, me too. The Panthers, we went over this in our other video. The Panthers have been so bad this year, other than that one bounce back game with Dalton. They have lost 47 to 10, 26 to 3, 34 to 24, 36 to 10, 38-20, 40 to 7. 33 points, 18 points, 26 points, 10 points, 23 points, 37 points. They're so terrible. They're awful. They don't do anything well. They don't do anything right. They're the worst team in the league. Give me Denver -10 without batting an eye.
Perfect. All right, so let's move on to a divisional game. Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. Kansas City's favored by 10 here. And
another big spread.
This one's hard because I was saying
This
in
is
the
a hard
last
one.
video, I think Kansas City's luck is going to run out, and the Raiders have been able to play teams close. I mean, I feel like people
Haven't they like
forget
randomly lost to the? Haven't like the Chiefs like randomly lost to the Raiders like every year the past few years?
that. Do you remember in 2020, the year that they basically almost went undefeated? One of the teams they lost to was the Raiders. So I don't know. Maybe this is going to be more of the same. I just have a feeling that I just kind of have to pick them because when you get to this point, your team has not looked that great. Um, at some point, that luck's going to run out. Um, on the other hand, I don't know, man. The Raiders beat the Ravens this year, so I don't know what to make of them, right? And they lost
They
a
they,
bunch.
they did.
Dude, yeah, they beat them week two. That's what the Ravens were 0-2 to start the year.
I knew they were 0-2, but oh my gosh, they did beat
Yeah,
the Ravens.
Gardner Minshew clutched up against the freaking Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. So
That
fuck it. I'm going Raiders here. I'm going Raiders plus 10. I don't
you
I
see
don't know if they'll win, but I think they're going to play them tough. So, yeah, give me the Raiders.
The Raiders beating the two best teams in the league,
Dude,
but just being
I think they did that in 2020. They might have beaten the Ravens that year too. I don't know for sure, but like
was that the year that Gruden like circled the bus around the stadium after the game?
that might have been oh no, wait, no. I think they beat the
Um,
Raiders. They beat the Ravens the next year with Gruden, and that was like the whole like Henry Ruggs thing. But um, yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders here.
okay, all right. Well, I actually think the Chiefs have been playing pretty horribly on offense. They're going to get D Hop in this week. Is that the trade been finalized?
Yes, yeah, I
Uh,
just saw finalized
it's official.
as of this
Yeah, okay,
morning.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, 7 hours ago from Yahoo Sports, Chiefs complete trade for Titans receiver DeAndre. Okay, so it's official. D Hop is on the Chiefs now. Obviously, we don't expect these guys to come in and set the world on fire. Devontae Adams had 3 catches for 30 yards for the Jets.
yeah.
Amari Cooper did
Coop had a
pretty
better
well
one.
with
Yeah,
the yeah. He had a touchdown, 4 catches, like 60 something yards, but he did get into the end zone. Um, I think look, D Hop is not prime D Hop anymore either. So
yeah,
it's like not even like that huge of a deal. But I I think their offense is eventually going to look right at some point. You know,
yeah.
and look, I know it's a lot of points on the road in a rivalry game. It's pretty crazy division rivalry, but
Uh huh.
I'm just gonna take the Chiefs -10. I guess I don't know, like 27, 28-17 or 27-14 or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's all I need. I don't need them to win by 30. I need them to win by 10, which is possible.
It definitely is.
Very possible.
Here's my thing with D Hop, really quick before we go on to the next game. I think I remember
Hmm.
seeing earlier in the season, like before the season started, that he had some sort of knee tear that like he couldn't get surgery for without missing the year, but he like said like, "Oh, I don't want to miss the full season. I want to play,"
Right.
type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's not like a green flag for me to trade for a guy who's dealing with some. I don't know if it's a meniscus tear or MCL, like a partially torn MCL or something, but he has some sort of knee injury that he's dealing with that he like can't get surgery on until like he either finishes the season or gets really badly hurt. So that's kind of a red flag for me on like a and especially an older player. Like I love D Hop, but his prime ended like 4 years ago with his first year with the Cardinals. That was probably the last of his prime that we got, and ever since then
Hmm.
he hasn't been able to play a full season. He's kind of missed games
Yeah,
and
he's been
inconsistent.
constantly injured.
Yeah, I mean he's had great performances. Like he had a 3 touchdown game last year with Will Levis, but um, yeah, he's been very inconsistent. He hasn't looked like just like prime takeover D Hop. So yeah, I'm just gonna
Well,
go with the Raiders here. I know I've already picked them, but
I am just gonna say that D Hop is going to be the wide receiver version of Travis Kelce, where he's like clearly old and clearly past his prime,
just super
but he can
slow.
still he could still like dig deep and dominate for like 1 or 2 games, like when it really matters.
Uh
And
huh.
obviously this game doesn't really matter, but first game is
It's
a
a
Chiefs.
divisional
And,
game.
and honestly,
Yeah.
we don't even know if he's gonna play, do we? I mean,
I think
he may not
honestly,
even
because
suit up.
he's so old, I feel like he's not. I feel like Amari Cooper and Devontae are kind of special situations because like
Well, both of those guys are pretty. I mean, they're probably the same. Okay, so D Hop is
he's 33. Oh,
32.
32. Okay.
He's 32. Uh, Devontae Adams is 31, but he turns 32 in December. And then Amari Cooper is uh 30 years. Okay, so Amari's the youngest of the three.
Yeah.
D Hop's the oldest, so he's basically the same age as
Well, I think
Devontae
Devontae is a
Adams.
special situation because I mean he knows Rodgers. D Hop does not know,
Mhm.
and I feel like for Cooper he's just such a professional and he's still younger. Obviously he's right at the cusp of 30. Um,
Yeah, he
so
just turned 30 in the summer.
yeah, because I thought he was 29 when the Browns had him, but I mean he's a younger
Uh-huh.
guy and he's one of those crazy professionals who's just gonna go out there. I don't know. I love D Hop, but I feel like he's kind of one of those guys who's gonna take his time, and I don't know if
Yeah.
we'll see him play. Um,
Well, regardless, I'm still taking the Chiefs to cover the 10.
all
I
right,
think I think they will. The Raiders are bad.
yeah, it's just got to go with the Raiders and the upset, dude. Got to. Let's move on to the 425 game. Chicago Bears traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders. Chicago's actually favored 3 points here. Um, I'm just gonna say this:
Yeah.
I like Chicago's defense way more, and I think Williams is developing every week as a passer. Their run game's getting on point. Washington's weak against the run, and I liked how DeAndre Swift has looked in these past couple weeks. So
He has really turned it around.
I was thinking about this game earlier, like and I don't know, I just really like the Bears here, so I'm gonna go with the Bears -3. Um, I just like I think honestly, if you put Jalen Johnson just one on one with Scary Terry, I love Scary Terry, but I mean, Jalen Johnson has been locking
Yeah.
up like everyone. So he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah,
So
he is.
give me the Bears. I think really the Bears are able to just neglect. I don't even know the word I was trying to do. Negate, not yeah, negate any of their big strengths on offense. So give me the Bears.
Okay. All right. Bears -3. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with you on that one. It's just like the Jaden Daniels injury. Um, I don't know. It was a rib injury. Uh, let's see. Let's see what. So he missed practice today. Um, uh, they're gonna be Dan Quinn said they're gonna be very cautious, take it step by step. I mean, there's a chance that he doesn't even play, and it's not even like known whether he's going to play or not. And obviously, like if he doesn't play, then the Bears -3 is free money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on that right now, and I'm gonna say that he probably they hold him out a week. I mean he got hurt early in that game, didn't play at all, right? And I mean it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
And he's they probably would want to keep him out for another week or so just to be safe. So yeah, give me the Bears -3. I'll ride with you on that one.
All right. Let's move on to the night game. Dallas Cowboys traveling to San
Ooh,
Francisco to take on the 49ers. 49ers are favored by 4 points here. This is a really hard game for me to pick because on one hand,
I agree.
Brock
Yeah,
Purdy
I
looked
don't trust either of these teams.
Brock Purdy looked trash. So did Dak with the last time we saw him um,
This was
against the
my
Lions.
uh,
I think we're getting Duran Bland back for the Dallas Cowboys. and he's a big pickup for them. I mean, him and Trevon Diggs are basically like the INT merchants. And obviously, we saw Brock throw 3 picks. I want to believe in the offensive talent of the 49ers. Um, and I feel like I kind of have to go with the 49ers here, but at the same time, it's just such an ugly loss. But then again, they had an ugly loss against the Seahawks, and then they cooked the Seahawks, and now we kind of know the Seahawks aren't entirely done. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Although I'm a Dak fan, I'm just gonna have to go with Brock and the 49ers here. 49ers -4. So I'm picking the Niners. Um, just favor them to have a bounce back. I think Debo's gonna play. He had pneumonia. He had like a really bad case of pneumonia last week, and he tried playing, and then like went to the hospital after the game because like he had like fluid in his lungs.
Yeah.
So he's out of the
Yeah.
hospital. I heard, which is good for him. Glad he's okay. But I like Debo against this defense because I feel like he's one of the guys you can use in a variety of ways. Obviously, they got Kittle. Yeah, I have to go with the Niners.
Yeah. This one's really tough because I don't like either of these teams. These teams are both fraudulent. Although I think the 49ers are less fraudulent, but Kyle Shanahan's a bigger fraud than Mike McCarthy is. Mike McCarthy at least has a Super Bowl ring.
Very true.
Um, I don't know. This one is really tough because it's like the Cowboys, I don't trust them at all, but I also don't trust the 49ers at all. But the 49ers at home, and they always beat up on the Cowboys. Like the the 49ers do to the Cowboys what the Chiefs do to the 49ers. Like the Chiefs just like steal the 49ers lunch money all the time. Like get like steal their girl,
They beat them in the
you know,
playoffs
burn,
twice in the past 4 years. So
yeah, like the 49ers are like again, they're like the team that like every team that has that team that they can't beat,
yeah.
except the Chiefs. Although for a while the Bengals were kind of that team for them.
Well, it was like Tom
The
Brady
the
led team,
49ers,
really.
yeah, that's very true. Um the the 49ers are that team for the Cowboys. And like yeah, no McCaffrey, no Ayuk. Ayuk's done for the year. Debo is playing, right?
I think so. But if not, then they're gonna have Ricky Pearsall as the number one wide receiver.
Sticky Ricky. Okay.
Yeah,
So the thing about the Cowboys is like Micah Parsons and Deron Bland are both going to be game time decisions. They're saying
yeah. But Parsons hasn't been
neither
that
guy
good
per
that
work.
year.
Yeah, but it's still Micah Parsons, dude.
I'm
I
gonna have to file a
I
missing
can't,
Parsons report. No worries.
dude. I'm telling you, him and Stroud too much podcasting this offseason.
Yeah,
Um, it's I have to go with San Fran here, don't I? Like the Cowboys suck.
yeah.
They've been getting tossed around by everybody. Well, have they? No. Well, they just get. I mean, they just got
I mean, they
bounced by
beat
the
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 Steelers, but
Lions.
like, yeah, they got
Oh,
smoked
that's
by the
true.
Lions. I don't know. Dallas is such a weird team this year. I feel like they've looked like awful, but like
They
that.
got blown out by the Lions. They got blown out by the Cow or the Ravens, but then came back and made it a close score. They got just straight blown out by the Saints,
Yeah, the Saints
and
game is
their
ugly.
their defense is so freaking bad, dude. Like it is just horrifically bad. And I cannot pick them to win this game, even though I don't trust the 49ers. I have to go with the 49ers here. I'm riding with you. We got a lot of the same picks this week, but
So we're
it's just
both going
very
14
hard
and
for me.
0. We're both going
Yeah, I
14.
guess. I
Uh,
guess. I don't know, man. We can't be right on all this stuff, can we? I mean,
yeah. You want to
we're
move
gonna
on to
we can
Monday
either do
night?
really what?
You want to move on to Monday night football?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna try to maybe talk myself into changing my pick to Dallas +4,
Well, I know you're just a
but
Dak hater. That's why I assume you wouldn't want to.
yeah, but I'm also a Brock Purdy hater.
See, if I'm looking at it from a perspective of, I feel like Dak has shown more flashes. Like,
You know
Da-
what?
Dak has had
Screw it.
great.
Give me the Cowboys.
Okay.
Give me the Cowboys +4. I don't like Dak, but I think he's better than Purdy.
Oh,
And their defense is atrocious. Their defense, it's 11 matadors out there, like just letting guys pass them, like just 11 traffic cones.
yeah.
They're so bad. Their defense is like one of the worst in the league. But whatever. I'm just gonna take them +4. I don't care.
Maybe
The
this will be a
49ers,
shootout. Maybe we'll finally get a Sunday night shootout, dude.
I mean it's possible, but I don't know. I don't trust the 49ers either. I don't trust either of these teams. I'm gonna
No.
I'm gonna flip a coin. I'm gonna flip a coin, and if it's heads, I'm like, damn it, it was tails. I was gonna say heads for the Cowboys. Whatever. I'm picking the Cowboys. I don't care.
All right.
I'm just picking the Cowboys +4. I don't know. They gotta show some signs of life at some point, don't they? Right? I mean, come on. Mike McCarthy's coaching for his job.
Very true. Although, is he? Will Jerry ever fire Mike McCarthy?
Yeah,
I
if
feel
you're a
like he's
yes
been
man, Jerry
coaching for
Jones
his
will hold on
job
to you.
since 2020, dude, and they have just let him
And he was
stay.
hired.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna like.
Mike McCarthy's, yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to take them. I mean, they have to do something good this year, man. All right. I mean, they showed something with that win against the Steelers, right? On the
Yeah,
road.
that's why I thought they beat the Lions because I felt like that was a gritty win, but then they just
It
got
was a gritty win.
smoked. Uh,
They got beyond smoke. They got like clowned.
um, I predicted the 49ers to get a revenge game last week, but maybe I just Melisandre'd myself and I just incorrectly saw the Flames, and it's actually the Cowboys are getting a revenge game on the Niners, and I just saw the Niners in revenge game, and I didn't realize it was actually this week, and it's the Cowboys finally get their win. Dude, if you want to take the 49ers, I'll just go with the Dallas Cowboys. I'll just swap with you if you want
No,
to.
I want the Cowboys.
Oh shit! All right, all
You
right.
can come over. You can come over here if you want. Nobody's stopping you.
No, I'll stick with San Fran, dude. I'll stick
Yeah,
with
that's probably
Brock.
the right pick.
Um, let's go. Let's move on to Monday night. Final game of the week. New York traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers are 6.5 point favorites. Um, I know we talked about this in our last reactions video. And I keep picking the Giants this year to my detriment for the most part, although it has paid off.
Me too. Yeah.
Um, but I mean, one thing New York has been able to do is get at the quarterback, but also one thing that the Steelers are able to do is get at the quarterback, and
hmm
Daniel Jones is gonna have no
Yeah.
time to throw in this really.
Yeah. The Andrew Thomas. Yeah.
But then again, could this game be like a shitty Pittsburgh game where the final score is determined by a field goal? Do you think? I mean, that could be an outcome here. That both teams
If it's just randomly just like
like
raining like a torrential downpour or something.
6-3, like it's literally like a shit. Like, do you remember that Broncos Colts game that was on Thursday night? That was like 9-9 in overtime, and then the final score was like 12-9, something like that. Like it was really bad. It was about 2 years
Ooh.
ago. It was Matt Ryan on the Colts and Russ on the Broncos.
Oh, the Thursday night game that nobody wanted to win.
Yes, that game. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was
I have a
yeah.
feeling this is going to be something like that. Maybe not as terrible, but I feel like it's going to be close. And that's why it's kind of given me pause to take the Giants here because, on one hand, Daniel Jones is going to have no time to throw. On the other hand, um, who do we know holds onto the ball way too long and fucking takes stupid sacks? Russell Wilson, old
Oh,
Russell Wilson.
the guy who invented the Russell Wilson sack.
Yeah, So like, I mean,
Or
he's
you
like,
get sacked after you hold the ball for 7 seconds.
is he the most sacked active quarterback in the NFL? I think he is. I don't want to say that because I might just be like pulling a stat out of my ass, but I feel like he is because like I know on the Seahawks he got sacked a ton, and he did on the Broncos as
Um,
well.
he is number two right now behind Aaron Rodgers, but
Oh, okay.
he's also played way less games
So per capita, per game, he is.
per capita per game on a per game basis.
So like,
Yes.
if he played the career of Aaron Rodgers, he'd have more. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
528 sacks for Russell Wilson, 548 for Rodgers, but Rodgers has also been playing since 2008, and Russell Wilson has been playing since 2012. So,
so 4 year gap. Dude, I don't know. I mean, the Giants lead the league in sacks as a team this year. And,
yeah,
I mean, the Jets don't have that great of a pass rush. They have, somewhat. But,
no, their pass rush is crap.
yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't think the Giants will win this game just because, like, if they had no line, yes, they can win this game by my Malik neighborsing them to death. But I just
Hmm.
think they'll be able to keep it close. I think this will be like a Pittsburgh win by 3 game. So I'm going with the Steelers or the Giants to cover, but the Steelers to win this game. So yeah, I'll go with the Giants to cover.
Hmm.
Maybe lose by
Yeah, I,
3.
I really, I really like your reasoning on that, and I think it's a, I think it's a, I like it. I like what you did there. Um, However, the Giants were just held to 3 points against Philly,
Yeah, that's true.
which is not a great game. So I just give me Pittsburgh minus 6.5. I'm
Minus,
just gonna. There's a lot of big lines this week. I mean, you got Baltimore minus 8.5 on the road. You got Detroit minus 11 against Tennessee at home. You got the Jets on the road over the Patriots minus 7. You got the Chargers at home minus 7. You got Denver minus 10, Kansas City minus 10, and Pittsburgh minus 6.5. It's a lot of big spread. This is a weird week. I didn't feel good really about a lot of my picks in this one.
yeah, I agree. Just hoping we
It's
don't go 0-14, dude. We just incorrectly pick them all.
well, well, we have a lot of like opposite picks.
Yeah,
Not we have a lot of same picks, but we also have a lot of opposite picks where somebody has to win. So, um, yeah, just give me Pittsburgh minus 6.5. I just seeing the Giants score 3 points against Philly. That their offensive line is so bad without Andrew Thomas. It was bad even with him. Right?
yeah,
I guess it wasn't awful, but without him, it's
yeah. No time to
really
throw.
bad.
Although honestly, I mean, I feel like maybe that's kind of a divisional matchup thing. Like, maybe
Yeah,
New York,
possibly.
New York just kind of got like caught. The lights were too bright. What's this, Garrett Allen type of thing.
It was like a Saquon revenge game
Yeah,
too.
they just got caught up in the aura. Yeah, I don't know,
Hmm.
man. I just like, I feel like the Giants are gonna do better. I don't think they're gonna, like I said, I don't think they're gonna do enough to win, but I also don't think the Steelers are gonna do that good as well. So I see this as like a really low scoring, shitty, close game. Like it's close by the virtue that like New York is able to stop them from scoring, and they may be able to cash in on like 1 out of 5 drives for like a field goal or a touchdown maybe. So
Yeah,
I don't see this as an
yeah.
entertaining game if you like offense. If you like defense, then yes, this will probably be a great game. But yeah, if you're an offensive
That's a
fan,
whole league, dude. Hey, I have an idea.
yes.
I want to just try this. What if we do a thing where we keep track of like my idea is you take one of your underdogs that you picked this week and you label them as your underdog pick.
Uh,
And you get if that team wins outright, you get those points. So, like for instance, I would take the Patriots +7. If they win outright, I get those 7 points, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
snap. Okay.
so like if you take Cleveland +8.5, if they don't win, you don't get those 8.5 points. But if you take Arizona +3.5, you would and they win, you get those 3.5 points. So kind of like a strategic thing. And then we just like tally up our underdog picks at the end of the year
Okay.
and see who's got the
More
most,
points.
got the most points.
All right. Do you want to do it this week? Why not? Let's do it.
I'm down. I'll take the Patriots as my underdog pick at +7.
Yeah, you said the
I think they're
Cardinals.
gonna
That's what I
win.
was thinking of. But let me let
I'm
me
gonna
just
take them to win outright.
let me just see.
So of your underdog picks, you have Cleveland +8.5, Arizona +3.5, the Raiders +10, and the Giants +6.5. So it could be any of those, but again, you have to be like strategic about it.
Oh, I think I gotta go with. Part of me wants to just do the Raiders, dude, because like it would just be crazy. But I think I just gotta go with Arizona. I think they're like the most realistic. Yeah, I go with Arizona as my underdog pick of the week. Um,
Underdog to win outright pick.
yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
like
All right.
I don't know. With picking the Raiders to win, I need to see like explosive plays, which they don't really have without Devontae. That's kind of the reason why they were able to win. Although, could they just like Brock Bowers them to death? You think that could happen?
Probably not, but I mean, I think they'll just like let Brock Bowers get his and like, well, he's done great against other teams. He doesn't really make a lick of a difference.
Yeah.
So I think they're perfectly cool with it.
All right. So we got our two underdog picks of the week. So you went New England. I went Arizona. So if we both win, you'll be leading me by 4 points. But if neither of us,
3.5,
oh yeah,
3.5. Yeah. Um, we should just go back and like retroactively do some picks from our old ones, just so we have like a little basis of points here.
yeah,
So, so like for week one, you pick the Giants +6.5, so you'd
yeah. I
probably
did
take
pick
that
them to
one,
win. So I guess
and they won,
yeah,
right? And I took the Cardinals +7.5, so I'll pick that one, and they won that game. So 7.5, and I'm gonna give you 6.5. Oh, 6.5. All right, so then, or sorry, not week one, but week five. But week six, you took Cleveland +9, but they didn't win the game outright.
no. If
You
I would have
and then
picked
you
any underdog, it would probably been the Broncos. I think I did pick the Broncos to win. So yeah, put me down as picking them, like as my like underdog pick, because I remember picking them to win.
okay, but they didn't win. So
Yeah,
and,
but
and I didn't have
that would
any.
have
I
been
didn't.
like my pick if we had retroactively done it.
I think mine probably would have been Seattle at home, but they lost. So neither of us get points for that week. And then last week,
Dang Denver! Oh, I totally picked
you
Denver, dude. I know it's like
yeah, you only
1.5,
have
but
you only have one option really.
yeah, but I mean, I definitely picked them to win. So
Yeah, yeah, oh, for
as
sure.
small as the points would be,
Um,
that's all I picked.
okay. So, okay, you are at 8. And for me, for last week, I had my biggest underdog pick was Seattle +3, and they won outright. So we'll just say that one. So I'm at 10.5 points, and you're at 8 points. And if you win, you'd be at 11.5 points. If I win, I'd be at 17.5 points with New England, which
Snap!
I feel like an idiot for taking them, but
It might happen, dude.
whatever.
Drake made magic. Who knows? All right.
Drake man that. Yeah, let's call it.
Yeah, that's all we got for this episode, guys. Please drop a like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. See you all in the next video. Peace.